Are you taking an interview anytime soon? Remember that in many cases, the recruiter are equally driven to bring a specific individual on board, especially if they believe that he or she will be a major asset to their organization. In order to make this happen, they may often resort to inflated promises and sugar-coated untruths to cover the idea that their workplace is the most ideal for the candidate. However, once the candidates finally begin the work, they might find themselves in a drastically different situation. It hence becomes very important to identify these untruths and tackle them effectively in the first interaction itself to avoid any future complications. In this video, we bring to you the exclusive insights on 7 common untruths that the employers usually tell the employees and how you can deal with them in an effective manner. First, there's a massive growth on scope for development and promotions. This is a typical behavior by companies to lure talent into their ranks by promising them ample opportunities to grow within the company. Although in some cases it is true, for most cases it turns out to be a massive exaggeration for the actual opportunities available. Although it may seem like a compliment to your potential, it is important not to be easily convinced. How to handle this, you ask? To find out whether these promises of growth are genuine or not. The candidate may choose to ask the interviewer a simple open-ended question towards the end of the interview. Maybe like, can you give me an example of someone who was recently hired within the last few years and who has been promoted? Or someone with a similar profile to mine and what he or she did to accomplish that. Asking this question is likely to compel the recruiters to come up with a genuine answer of the true state of affairs. And if this answer attempts to circumvent or is not very convincing, the candidate may infer that the promise was a facade. Second, you will have complete discretion of the project. For those candidates who are core professional, especially in the technical fields, recruiters tend to promise that they will near absolute control of the product. This is an incentive for those candidates who are independent and self-driven and who have an inclination to take ownership of projects by adding their own ingenuity to it. Although this sounds exciting, this statement may be partially or entirely false. Regardless of the nature of the project or the designation of the employee, a certain degree of oversight is omnipresent, and that is simply how an organization works. How to handle with this, you ask? Inquire on this promise by asking for further details. Something like, can you elaborate when you say complete ownership? Also, can you give me an example from your current team members who have full ownership of their projects? And what kind of projects are they? If the recruiters are unable to substantiate their statement through case studies, they are likely to be selling you a lie only to motivate you to taking the job. Third, this job comes with a lot of flexibility and work from home is permitted on certain occasions. Sounds too good to be true, right? It might as well be. In the post-pandemic environment, where job flexibility and work from home options are immensely sought after options by the candidates, recruiters may use this promise to make the positions more attractive for the candidate. How to handle this, you ask? Some companies may offer either flexibility or work from home, and it is on very rare occasions that they offer both. So if a recruiter is promising you that, you may try to obtain more information by asking them the following questions. How do employees apply for work from home? Is it for limited days? How is flexibility managed at your company? And is there someone I can speak to guide me as to how the company meets its goals while keeping the work flexibility? If they do not respond to this with a lot of conviction or indicate that they do not have a proper structure in place to provide work from home, chances are that these assurances are little more than a hoax meant to attempt to joining you for the organization. Fourth, do not worry, your annual bonuses will double your income. Doubling your income. Is that truly that simple? It is true that some Fortune 500 companies and companies with a similar stature offer massive bonuses to their employees, but they are not likely to flaunt this in an interview, right? How to handle this? A simple and straightforward way to find out if they are promising the truth would be by asking to meet one of their employees who has received this extraordinary reward. Oh wow, that's wonderful. May I meet someone who has earned such a bonus? I would like to know how they accomplished that. Would simply do it for you. Fifth, salary is based on your experience. This is perhaps the most common and misleading statement in the history of recruitment. In fact, this is clearly mentioned on most job postings as well as over telephonic conversations. It is alternatively framed by stating salary is no bar for the right candidate in order to attract the most skillful workforce. However, this may not always be true owing to the fact that salary for a position is often determined for a number of factors such as budget allocation, job requirement, and workforce present instead of industry standards. How to handle this? The best way to find out the truth is by knowing the average pay of the designation and company you are applying for. For knowing the salaries, you can know for sure if they are giving out the salaries based on experience or is it just a tactic to attract skilled employees. When the recruiters realize that you are aware of the true industry standards, they will know that what they are offering you will perhaps not suffice in the grand scheme of things. 6. You will get the chance to work on great projects in the future. Employers know for a fact that employees are attracted to only a few things, either well-paid salaries or growth and learning opportunities. Sometimes they might use it to make sure that the employee is excited about the unique and diverse work prospects in the future, although in reality there may be none. How to handle this? If the recruiter mentions this during the interview, it would be a good move to ask for clarity on it right away. Can you give me some examples of employees who have recently got an opportunity to work on different projects later in their career? What did they exactly do to be allowed to work on different projects? The recruiter's response to your inquiries will make it clear on whether it is a true possibility or an empty promise, and ambiguous answers usually point to the latter. 7th, we will hire you some help when the time comes. Sometimes a recruiter may commit to support you by additional workforce, especially if the project you will be working on is an extensive one and you are the only individual working on it. This may or may not happen later. How to handle this? The simple way to reveal the truth is by asking them if they have done similar things in the past before. Have you hired some help for your existing team members before? Or what is the process of identifying and budgeting the additional workforce? If it has not been done in the past, the chances of it happening for you is highly unlikely, so you will have to decide and take the call accordingly. In conclusion, it can be said that sometimes it may be difficult for individuals to fully determine whether the companies are genuine in such commitments. And for the candidate, it is important to understand his or her priorities and try to learn more about the company and its employees before taking the call on the offer. For more such content, do visit our website yourlegalcareercoach.com and do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.